'Twas the night before Julesworks, and all through the den not a synapse was firing. They were sleeping, you ken. Power strips lay buzzing galore on the floor. King Stanley snoozed gently at his post by the door. Princess Stella slept soundly at the top of her tower. But Jules! Where was Jules at this hour? On what errand would Daddy possibly go, with a wind kicking up, and riding it, snow? The brave Reuben auto was nowhere in sight. Was it cradling Julesie somewhere in the night? No, poor Julesie was shopping in store after store. With an armload of bags, he sought just one thing more. "There's one thing I want, but the cashier's a grouch. I wish, oh, I wish I was home on the couch." The snow settled higher upon the road home. The car shivered in it from rooftop to chrome. One last store, and Jules saw by the lighted interior no cat food left but what he deemed inferior. And what Stanley and Stella would say when they knew what dreck was for dinner, oh, but what could he do? It took all his might and his skill to survive, to aim that car home, and then finally arrive. Stella's nose twitched, and she bounded up first. Stanley rose just in time, because in Daddy burst. The wintry wind howled loud through the den, until Daddy got the door fastened again, not before grabbing the bags, one and all, and strewing the loot from threshold to hall. There were blankies so fluffy the kitty sank in. There were stuffies so lovely they were like kitty kin, and flowers to sniff, with petals for eats, junk mail to crumple and kibbles for treats. There were T-shirts and whiskey, coffee and socks, catnip and pillows, and bestly, a box. Stella stalked that with her tail in the air. Stanley made bread in a new blanky lair. Jules took a deep breath and took off his coat, and downing 3 quick ones, he started to float. "Late dinner," purred Stella, who went to her nip. "Late dinner," mewed Stanley, whose tum did a flip. He walked to the cans on the floor where they fell, examined the labels, and began to raise hell. No, he didn't. He only walked back to the door, and lay down, full faith in Jules evermore. The screen before Stella and Jules fixed on haze. They drifted to music. Stanley seemed in a daze, but his keen brain was envisioning ecstasy. Guess what treats might be on their way. Do I see you, P.S.? Outside, festive lights and festive flags flying. Inside, a king started up his glad roar, crying, "Packages, Daddy! Fancy feast at the least!" Jules struggled awake, and he sprang to his feet. But there were 2 trucks! Stella cooed, "Dibs!" And Stanley was already looking at bibs. A hobbit's holiday, seafood for dinner! And never mind canned, DoorDash was the winner. The drivers were tipped till they danced out of sight. Jules cried, "Lobsters for everyone!" And to all a good night.